Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, and able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And caught by Cameron right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And a very capable offensive unit here. One of the headliners, Jordan Cameron.
He's listed as a tight end, but he's at his best when he flexes away from the line of scrimmage and runs routes like a receiver.
Now it's Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whipping on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Morris Claiborne is a former first-round pick at quarterback with skills that can match up with anyone when he's at his best.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill going deep here for Parker. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. On 4th down, Tannehill. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. They find some open field here. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 63 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They come out here in the eye. Now Tannehill, he's got time in the pocket, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on third down, Tannehill. It's caught, Stills, right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Here's the offense, and I don't know what more you can say at this point in his career about Jason Witten.
You just give him full respect. This is a guy who knows how to do everything on the football field. Not just catch the ball, but huge in the run game with his blocking at the line of scrimmage.
He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. 3rd down here. Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So the Cowboys will punt it on 4th down. As on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They run again with Ajayi. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustment?
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Justin Duran coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out in the pistol. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Zeke remains atop the NFL rushing list after 7 games. 799 yards on the doorstep of 800.
How about the culture change that he's helping lead in Dallas in terms of winning games, winning close games, doing things that haven't done in the last couple of seasons? A rookie running back has been the fulcrum of Dallas's charge to the top of the NFC East.
And 96 against the Eagles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on fourth down. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on fourth down. It's a keeper with Prescott. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
It would have been a long field goal attempt, so when you only need a few inches, this, to me, is the right decision. And they wind up picking up the conversion on fourth down.
They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him. He gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
And kept him to a short run play there. Going for it all. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And out come the Dolphins now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And quickly, they get to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the
into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. After the interception, here's Tannehill. Being chased out left. Room here to run. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll toss it to Ajayi. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's going to float this one deep right side. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it brings up fourth down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
380. 380. Dagger. Dagger.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here we go on fourth. Tannehill. And it is incomplete. Well, partners, you and I were discussing off-air. Parity has reigned supreme this year in the NFL. Maybe too supreme. 2 ties back-to-back weeks. Only the second time that's happened in league history.
It is an oddity, but maybe we shouldn't be so surprised. You know, going into Week 8, the NFL had 80 games played already. They were within a touchdown score in the fourth quarter. So games have been close all the way through. Now we get the ties. We could have had a third tie because Oakland and Tampa Bay, the winning score came under 2 minutes left in overtime.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards. This is Elliott. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
380. 380.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And the Dolphins are going to get a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now it's Ajayi. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Third down, still 14 yards left.
Wide 20. Wide 20. Dagger.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
380.
Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. He's going to let one go deep. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 45 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to a one-score game. Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They'll run with Elliott. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. So now here come the Dolphins. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Oh, nice move. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Zebra! 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 Zebra!
They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 7 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Dunbar. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. 1 possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. A handoff left. Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Miami, so long, everybody.
Not headed to the airport for this one. One more day here will suit me just fine.